The powerful images of Russia's war on Ukraine are gripping, moving, disturbing, and worse. We all look on heartbroken as Ukrainian citizens are destroyed, people forced to flee in the wake of these brutal, unprovoked attacks. With me now is someone who has been right there on the front lines capturing these images, photojournalist Heidi Levine. She's been documenting the war in and around Kyiv for the Washington Post. Heidi, grateful for your time today. I want to start just by showing some photos you took around Irpin, where people are trying to flee. You see the damaged bridge there. You see, and again, if you just pause and watch, you see crutches there. You see a pet carrier there. If you take time to look at the humanity of the photo, it is remarkable. And you have a series there. You've been doing this for more than 30 years. You've been in Iraq, you've been in Syria, you've been in Gaza, and yet you say yourself, and when you talk to your colleagues with decades of experience covering war, they are shocked by what they are witnessing and fearful of what comes ahead. Help explain.
Well, I mean, it's true. I have not met any journalist who has been working as long as I have in conflict zones and covering wars. That it just, I mean, every time I bump into somebody that I know or somebody I don't even know, we're just a shock that what we're seeing is actually happening. I mean, how could this be happening in 2022? It feels like we haven't learned absolutely nothing from history. And every time I see people fleeing and people carrying their elderly parents, their grandparents, their pets, and I'm not just talking about one pet. I have met families that are carrying 3 dogs, their babies, their cats, and elderly women and men covered in snow the other day during a brief snowstorm. I even tried to help a woman to warm her hands, and her shirt was showing, and I could see that she was wearing geriatric diapers. And to be honest, I mean, I woke at 3 o'clock in the morning that after photographing that day, and you know, I was just having nightmares, and I think I just can't imagine being on the other side of my camera. I mean, if people ever imagine that photojournalists or anyone documenting this conflict or any other conflicts are shielded by our lenses, and it's absolutely untrue. We are very feeling very emotional and putting down our cameras, helping people, crying with people. People are, you know, sometimes just reaching out and hugging me, and it's really nothing that I've ever experienced before.
Uh,
And we're all afraid of what can happen in the
the,
near future here.
you can hear your emotion. You know, the arc of life is supposed to be a magical journey, and it is a nightmare right now. You see right there a funeral in Kyiv, a funeral that's too soon for somebody whose life has been cut short too soon by Putin's plan, not God's plan. And then you see here the other end. This is a basement maternity ward underground in Kyiv to protect the pregnant mothers, to try to protect them from what's happening up above. You say when you put down you can't believe sometimes what's happening on the other side of the lens. It's both the beginning and the end of life there in the middle of hell.
Right. And a lot of these women, pregnant women, were frightened. I mean, I, a mother of 3 children myself, have gone through giving birth 3 times, and it's scary enough on its own. So I cannot even imagine what this situation is like for them. They're in shock that this is happening in their own country, that they're in shock that they're about to give birth or have given birth under these circumstances. They don't know if they're even going to even have a home to go home to with their newborn baby, or what country they're going to have to flee to.
A
You have
couple.
to also understand that, you know, the men are not between the age of 17 and 65 are not allowed to leave Ukraine. And so I've also witnessed so many um, women of all ages with their families leaving on their own, saying goodbye to their husbands from the window of their train station. It's just shocking.
We're showing pictures you took at the end of February on a building, a residential building in a fire. There's a photograph here of the Kyiv Zoo. And in some ways, this is incredibly heartwarming amid all this pain. You see one of the zookeepers there trying to comfort an Asian elephant who you say in your reporting as you take these photographs is having shock issues because of the drumbeat of war.
Yeah, I mean, even during our visit to the zoo, we could hear the sounds of sirens. We could hear explosions in the background. I know that Horace the elephant um, is being given sedatives because he's absolutely frightened from the noise, walking back and forth. I've heard that even one of the keepers is sleeping with him at night to try to keep him calm. I mean, it's. I mean, I even saw a cemetery that where the graves were destroyed from a shelling. So even the dead are not even allowed to rest in peace here.
Heidi, I want to come back to one more photo of the firefighter outside of this apartment building. It's such a lonely photo, if I could ask the control room to bring it back. It's such a lonely photo, in some ways a horrific photo where you see the smoke in the background, and yet so heroic of these first responders in the middle of war trying to do their job. When you see somebody like that, and then as you talk about the toll on yourself, just how do you get through the day?
Well, talking about it, I'm working for the Washington Post. I have an incredible team here that I'm part of, and I'm most grateful. I have close colleagues here that I've known for decades. And I know that this is it's a nightmare also on my own family, and they're super scared. It's a nightmare for all of our families, but it's most important, it's total nightmare for the people of Ukraine. But I have seen such incredible resilience, and I have not met anyone of any age who isn't determined to fight for their country, whether it's literally picking up a gun or actually helping to prepare food for the forces or for their neighbors or to helping a family find insulin for their young child. I think, as you know, I'm very committed to the story. I mean, what I do is not a job. It feels like it's a mission. And of course, it takes a toll. And talking about it and being able to try to make my audience understand and connect to my photos helps me get through the day. And just yesterday, I did get a message from um, an agency in France that saw the story about a child who was in need of insulin, offering the family help. So, you know, when you see these messages, you know that your work is really doing something, and it's helping to make a change, even if it's a small change or a little footstep in the right direction.
Amen. Amen to that. You're doing remarkable work, both recording this as a news story day to day, but also recording history as it unfolds. Heidi Levine, grateful for your time. More importantly, grateful for your work, and please stay safe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I just to also offer my condolences to the people who have lost loved ones, and including the families of the journalists who've been killed in the last few days. My heart goes out to you and to the people here, and everyone on both sides of the conflict that are losing people.
Important perspective. Heidi, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.